welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble and I'm here with your readings for March the 26th through April the 1st. I can't believe we're in April already. It's crazy. So first of all, thank you for liking my videos, for sharing them on your social media, for commenting. I read every comment, for subscribing if you haven't already. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And please check out my Patreon page. I have a Patreon page. The link will be below, and it'll also be on my YouTube channel, and just check it out. It's another way to just support me, and I want to thank my patrons. I just started it a week or so ago, and it's just thank you. Now, I just wanted to do a little astrological report first. Also, personal readings are below. These are for general readings. They're for your sun, moon, and rising. You'll find those links to the other videos down below, so you can click on your sun, moon, and rising. And I will put a timeline if you're checking out more than one video, where to skip this intro, because I'll put this intro on everything. So the big news is the full moon in Libra on the 31st. Now, this is a blue moon. We call it a blue moon. That's how it comes, once in a blue, right? Once in a blue moon. It's usually every 2.5 years, but we actually had one in January. But we didn't have only because we didn't have a full moon in February, because it was 28 days. It was too short. So we have 2 full moons, and the second moon is not really blue. It's just called a blue moon. Anyway, enough about that. Let's go to astrology. So this very powerful full moon is in Libra. Now, Libra is about love. It's about relationship. It's about harmony. It's no conflict. It wants to be balanced, and that's wonderful, right? Yes. But at the same time, the Sun and Mercury, which is retrograde, is opposing it, and that's in Aries. And also we have Mars in Capricorn and Saturn opposing it too. So there's this, there's Leo. There's the full moon in Libra out there on its own, trying to balance all this energy, and it's going to be a little challenging. Now, so they're all challenging aspects. Now, the thing that's going to save us somewhat is that, okay, the Sun is about, your identity, me, shining on me, right? And Mercury is about communication. But Mercury is retrograde, so when a planet's going forward, it's about what you project outward, right? So when it's retrograde, it's about going in. So, with this Mars energy, we're going to want to we'll perhaps, say something really fast without thinking. So with Mercury in retrograde, it might slow it down a bit. Also with Saturn there. Saturn, Mars is about action, moving forward really fast, and Saturn's about no, slow, stop, and may even put blocks in place to slow you down, right? It's known as the planet of accidents. Sometimes it's just to slow you, stop. You need to slow down. It's the planet of teaching lessons, right? So it's a dynamic energy that's happening this week. And if we look, full moons are usually a culmination, right? It can be the ending of something. It can be, releasing relationships. It can be releasing behaviors that aren't working for us anymore. It can be releasing the way we react or respond, or releasing friendships. It can be about forgiveness. It can be about healing. It's a good time to kind of reflect and to go in and see what no longer works for us anymore. That's what a full moon is really good for. And also it can be the culmination and, you know, the blossoming of something that you've really worked hard on. And it could be the culmination of all that. You know, your intentions at the first moon, right? At the new moon, go back and see what your intentions were. That's why I always write mine down and see if anything's come to fruition. It's really interesting, really is, to do that. Now, what else is going on? I have to put my glasses on and look at my notes for this. Yes, it can be very emotional and sensitive for some people. Of course, that's the new moon, right? We could be extremely sensitive when somebody says something, and we could really be hurt by it. So it's important to really think before we speak, like bite your tongue. You know, take a deep breath in. Think about what you're going to say. And also what you can say, what you say may be misconstrued. Now, Venus will have moved into Taurus, and Venus is at home in Taurus, darling. She's going home. She's feeling really good. She'll be languishing on the couch, eating bonbons, taking, you know, rose petal baths. She's going to feel romantic. She's going to feel wonderful. So you've got this wonderful energy. And at the same time, she's moving into a really nice aspect to Uranus, which is the planet of surprises. Meet a new love. We could bump into someone unexpectedly when we least expect it, right? It could be about, you know, Venus is about finances too. We could have some surprises with finances. So I feel that this is a really interesting and a really lovely energy coming in. And I think this is a really opportune time to focus on, you know, equality and balance, because that's what Libra is about. And look what's happening, you know, across the nation. It's all the young people are you know, rising up and what amazing speakers they were. I was blown away by that. Anyway, listen, that's getting on something else. Anyway, that was just so moving to watch that. To watch all those young people so articulate and so confident and so done with what's going on. Power to you guys. You're going to save us. Anyway, let's go to your card, shall we? Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your reading for March the 26th through April the 1st. And your first card is the 11th of water. The 11 of water. Excuse me, this is a different deck, so it has a totally different concept to it. So the 11th of water is called, is emotion and intellect. So when this card comes up, it's saying, what motivates your actions? Fear or love, right? Sometimes it's both. And actually, there's no right or wrong. That's life, right? Sometimes we are in fear. So we are motivated by fear, and sometimes we're motivated by love. When this card comes up, though, it's asking you to express your emotions, because if you're not expressing your emotions, it's going to have a physical toll on your body. So it's kind of like it's a nice little reminder, if you want to call it a warning. It's saying, be aware of your emotions and express them. Don't be afraid to express your emotions, because if you don't express your emotions, it really will affect you physically. So this is the message that you're clearly getting. And clarifying this, two cards fell out. One card is the Two of Swords, which is a choice, and it's almost like you're not seeing the truth in a situation. So this is really asking you, right, to be truthful. Ask yourself what motivates you, and ask yourself, You know, are you suppressing these feelings and these emotions, or are you expressing them? You are being asked to express them, because now you also have the Tower. And that means that things will fall apart, right? You know, this is going to, I'm definitely getting that if you suppress your emotions, and perhaps you have been suppressing your emotions, it's going to affect you physically. It's going to make you ill. So this is saying, express them. Tell someone. It's about talking to someone that you trust. It's about, saying how you feel. It's about telling the person that you're feeling them about, telling them how you feel. If somebody's upsetting you, tell them, listen, you're hurting me. I find that if you actually say to someone, that really hurts my feelings, that people are compassionate and they'll understand that and take it. But when you're suppressing it and suppressing it and suppressing it, right, and you're not telling someone that they've hurt your feelings, then all of a sudden they'll say something and you're like, right, and you react to them in a really negative way, and it's terrible for your relationship. And also it's not good for you, because you're holding in that anger and resentment, and it's, you've heard, everyone's heard this. It's like when you're resentful towards someone, or excuse me, if you have a resentment against somebody, it's like taking poison and waiting for the other person to die. It's that million times, I've heard it a million times, but it's so true. It is poison to your body to suppress those emotions. And if you can, it's a freedom and it's a vulnerability, and people respect that when you actually are true and authentic and you express your emotions freely. Now the next card that came up for you is the Four of Water. These are emotional cards. It seems like you might have a bit of an emotional week, Gemini. Look at that beautiful card, right? It has a different meaning with this deck, because look, he's scarred, right? You see the scarring on his face? Can you see that? However, he's scarred on his face, but he's looking in the mirror and he sees beauty, right? He's got that smile. Even his eye is kind of messed up. He's got all this. This card is asking you to completely love yourself unconditionally. Each experience that he has, every time he's been hurt, adds a new scar, and that adds depth to his character and makes him even more beautiful, Oh my God, it reminds me of this story. I'm not going to go into it right now, but somebody I met in anyway, a long time ago, I just thought he was stunning with a scar on his face. It just made me more attracted to him. It was weird. But anyway, he was beautiful as well. So this guy really sees himself as being beautiful. And I think that's it. He exudes confidence and he's really accepting of himself. So it's really important to love yourself, all the flaws, unconditionally. You're being asked at this time, Gemini, to really love yourself. Do you look in the mirror? Do you meet your eyes in the mirror and respect and love yourself? Truly? Do you love all your flaws? Do you love all the folds? Perhaps you're fat, perhaps you're too skinny, perhaps whatever it is, your body shape. Do you love yourself unconditionally? Do you love all your flaws? This is asking you to love them. Embrace that. There's wisdom in it. There's beauty. Have you ever seen an old person with lots of lines? I remember this one photograph and I thought, oh my God, how stunning is this woman? You could see the roadmap of her life on her face. And it was fascinating and it had a beauty to it. And there's a wisdom there. That's what you're being asked to. And I have a feeling you've got the Ten of Swords clarifying it. So this is like coming through a really difficult time, right? That has affected you and scarred you in some way. But this is a growth, a personal growth. This is a wonderful opportunity to really admire yourself for going through this tough time and coming out the other side. Coming out the other side with wisdom and clarity and this depth of character, right? Which is very attractive. It's attractive to those out there, to other people as well. Now, the next card you have is the Father. It's a major arcana in this deck. And the Father is coming into your reading because you're being asked to take control and get things together. Put some rules in place. But the Father is, right, he's the head of the family, right? He is the calm in the storm. He's the protector. He's the disciplinarian. He's the rule maker. Not only does he make the rules, he follows the rules himself. And he's the provider. He provides the security. He provides the money, the food. You know, he is the head of the family. So when he comes into a reading, it's saying, listen, it's time to take action. It's time to take control. It's time to get up and do what you need to do, Gemini. This is the time for you to move forward. Right? You can do it. You can, this is about like being the adult. You're being asked to be the adult. You know, this is about, it's interesting because you're expressing your emotions here, right? But this, you kind of have to be stoic. Express your emotions to an appropriate person. So you have to be, it's definitely about, you can definitely seek counsel, but it has to be somebody that's impartial and somebody appropriate. Can't be like, you know, a child. This is about being the hierarchy. You know, the leader, be the leader and be the creator of your life, actually. And what's interesting is you've got the Four of Cups again, right? Because this is the Four of Cups. It's the Four of Water, but it's a very different meaning, a different energy, a different message altogether in this deck, right? This one, even though I say it's a different message, it could be construed in that way or you know, interpreted in that way. But this is about, this card to me is all about coming into the present moment because you are missing what's going on by being distracted. This to me is, look, he's right by the water and he's got all these cups and he's not even seeing the mermaid. She's kind of giving him something and he's not even seeing it because he's just like, he's not even looking at his surrounding. He's inside his head daydreaming. Who knows what he's daydreaming about, right? But this card is saying, come back into the present moment. Look at the blessings in your life, right? Love yourself, basically. Yeah, right. That's the same thing, right? Look at you in your whole, in everything that you are and celebrate that. Relish it. See that. When you come into the present moment, you can actually clearly see what's around you. You can clearly see the blessings. You can, if you're not kind of in your head and in the past thinking about what you don't have, what you could have had, what you should have done, what you did, you're not good enough. You know, it could be that, right? It definitely is that there. Whatever it is that you're daydreaming here, you're being asked to come back down. This is a grounding. This is earth. He's got both feet planted on the ground. He is practicality. He is, listen, guys, get your arse in gear and get your stuff together. Get your shit together. Get it together, guys. You've got to move forward. And so when he's, this is grounded. You need to be grounded, guys. You need to come back into the moment and take control of your life. But to me, it's all about this week for you. It's really about, be careful about being in your head all the time, right? You're an air sign. You can be in your head all the time. Come out of your head. Understand how that, always being in your head is going to affect you. First of all, a thought stems an emotion, right? And the emotion affects your body, right? That's what happens. Remember, thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic. So, try to reach, as Esther Hicks always says, reach for a better feeling thought. And then, you'll be much healthier and you won't fall apart. Things won't go awry for you. And this is about loving yourself, darling. Really loving yourself unconditionally. Grounded. Gemini, thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email mary@liveinthesolution.com.